Hi, good morning, Hernandez students. I'm Mrs. H. I'm the IB coordinator here at Hernandez Middle School, and I'm here today because we are ready for our IB Community Project Kickoff. Today you will watch presentation number 1 for the kickoff, and then next week you will be watching presentation number 2 during your social studies class. So today I'd like to thank the science teachers for taking time out of their busy schedule to show you guys this important presentation as we kick off our IB community projects for all the 8th graders. And this is a project that takes place from December through April, and it's an independent project, which means that it won't be run in your regular classes. Some of you will be working on the project during your flex classes. For others who are doing intervention flex classes, I will also be working with you guys outside of the regular flex class in order to complete the community project. So to get started today, to get started today, we're going to start off with a quote on community service. Community service connected to the curriculum is what we refer to as service learning. And so, as IB students, you guys have had 3 years. This is your 3rd year for completing community service. Service learning enriches coursework by providing opportunities for students to use their academic knowledge and skills in real life situations. And so, you guys, for both your 6th grade year with Caring for Cambodia. We partnered with Caring for Cambodia. Last year, we partnered with Miracle Foundation, and so we had some opportunities there. And this year, as a school, we're partnering with Wellaware. But in addition to that, you guys will have the opportunity to be able to create your own service project, which is kind of cool. And so here is a short video to start us out on what is community service.
A great man by the name of Gandhi once said, "The best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others." But what does it mean to lose yourself? It means rejecting the greed, anger, and hatred that knock on the door of your soul every day and opening that door to generosity, devotion, and love. We usually think of service as helping those in need and fail to acknowledge that we need it more than anything. By reaching out, we can discover our passions and fulfill our potential. Our world expands. New stories, friends, and experiences emerge. Experiences like preparing the walls of an elementary school for a total makeover, or doing the dishes for an entire sleepaway camp, which is actually surprisingly very fun. Or building a children's library from the ground up for a school that doesn't have the luxury of infinite books at their fingertips. You can make a child's entire day with a picture book of their own. You never know what kind of impact you can make on a person, but the way they impact you stays with you forever. The possibilities are endless. As Gandhi said, the real journey to finding yourself starts with you.
I love that video. That video actually shows some of the students that we were able to help when you guys were 6th graders. I don't know if you noticed the Cambodian students that had the white uniforms, the white shirts with the navy blue, either skirts or shorts. And so those were some of those students that we were able to help when you were 6th graders. And I love it that they talk about them in that service learning video. Here's another quote by Marie Curie. You cannot hope to build a better world without improving the individuals. And this is talking about you guys. To that end, each of us must work for his or her own improvement and at the same time share a general responsibility for all humanity. Our particular duty to aid those to whom we can think, who we think we can be most useful. And so keep in mind, eighth graders, that as individuals, we can only do so much, but helping out in our own sphere of influence in Round Rock, Texas, doing things and taking on local causes might be a little daunting for you as an individual. But as we go throughout this process, keep in mind that I want you to find something that about which you are passionate. Because if you really care about something, it'll make the process so much more enjoyable as we go through this. All right. Your teacher should be sharing the link to the IB Community Project Handbook. You can find this a couple of different ways. I will have this handbook, a digital copy of the handbook, linked to the IB section of our webpage, our Hernandez Middle School webpage. Up at the very top, there's an IB section. And so this will be linked in there. In addition, we have last year's projects. If you're interested or you just want to know a little bit more about the process, we have last year's projects still linked into the IB section of the website. So you can go in there and you can click, and I'm sure that you guys know many of the students who completed the IB Community Project last year. They have their presentation videos. You're able to see not only the project that they completed, but they present the project and how well they did. And this is just a snapshot. This gives you, this is what the front page of the handbook looks like. And then this is the table of contents. And if you look, yes, it is 32 pages, which seems like a lot. But if you look at it, I color coded it to make it a little bit easier for you guys to understand. So in the area with the black print, this is going to be explaining the project and different, like here, 100 ideas for community projects. The blue section has the timeline. You don't have to complete this overnight. This takes place over a 4-month period. A checklist for you. In the red section, these are the sections that will tell you at any given moment throughout the project what you should be working on in order to stay up to date, because this isn't something that you can complete overnight. Again, how will my community project be graded? Yes, this will be a grade on your IB report card in May. And then the two green sections, these will be Google Forms that you will then hand in or type, and then you'll give to your community project supervisor. All right. So our IB Community Project exhibition will be digital this year. And so you will present digitally and then similar to what you see on the website now with last year's projects, we will be doing something similar for you. And so you'll be able to share your project with your friends, with your family, and then others throughout the community. All right. And again, we have the Community Project Student Handbook linked here. You guys will only have a digital copy of the book. Your supervisor will have a printed copy, which you can look at. But for you, definitely mark that. Or again, you can just go on the website and it will be there. And so we are going to have you link in to the UN Sustainable Development Goals, which we're going to talk a little bit more this week in IB Flex class. Also, the IB Community Project timeline is there, so it gives you dates and it gives you things and checkpoints that you'll be working on through the project. Here's another quote: service learning. Remember, we're talking about that today. Service learning's all about the process. It builds in reflection, takes weeks or months, and culminates in a community celebration. And so that is what we will do, is we will celebrate you and your efforts over the next few months in order to complete the community project. All right, and here is a brief video. Remember, I told you that if you will link your project into something that you're already passionate about, it's going to make your project so much easier to complete. So here's a video that talks more about that.
It's very popular in the modern world to find your passion and turn it into a career. But is that the right thing to do? And how do you do it? You don't need to make an effort to find your passion, because if you do, then you're probably not really passionate about it. Make a list of things you're excited about, things you want to constantly learn more about, and you lose track of time when you do them. This list might contain video games, or watching movies and eating pizza, and that's okay. Not everything on the list is a true passion. Some of them are just things that you like doing. Your passion is something that you love to do, but also makes you fulfilled. A passion doesn't have to be something you monetize. If you're passionate about animals, but being a veterinarian is not appealing for you, you can volunteer at an animal shelter or adopt a pet. Our society is based on economy, so the ideal life is to make money by living your passion, or have a passive income so you can live your passion. What if you don't know what you like? You need to try different things in order to know yourself better. After all, the best way to learn is through experience. Another tip is to write down the things you liked as a child. Passion can change as time goes by, but sometimes we find out that some things we liked as children are still relevant. If you were really passionate about something, you wouldn't mind being a quote fly on the wall, someone who just watches and learns. Try to think what kind of places you would like to be just to observe. For example, if you're really passionate about filmmaking, you would want to be on a movie set, even if you're just watching what everybody does and learn how it works. You wouldn't mind working for free just because you want to learn, gain experience, and get better. A passion might be confused with a hobby. So, what's the difference? Well, a hobby is something you enjoy doing in your free time with no actual purpose. You do it because you enjoy it and it makes you relax or have fun. You might like astronomy and be eager to learn more about it, but it's not something you want to do for a living. However, a passion is something that burns inside you. You can't stop thinking about it and you want to do it all the time. It also has a purpose like helping others, developing yourself, and bringing benefit to the world. If astronomy was more than a hobby for you, you would probably have a passion to discover new things in order to help with the world's development. We were born to a world where you have to work in order to make a living. We didn't choose that. It's important to enjoy what you're doing since most people spend a lot of time at work. Not all the people have this dream career that they want to pursue, and that's fine. Some people have something that they're passionate about, but will stop enjoying doing if they turn it into a career. You can still make a living from something that you enjoy, but not that passionate about, and follow your passions at the rest of your time. Not everyone is the same, and there is no magic formula that fits everyone. Each person needs to find what is best for him and live by it. If you don't have a passion for something right now, it's alright. When you really want something, you'll feel it, and won't have to make up fictional goals. So, what do you do if you don't have any specific passion? Concentrate on being passionate about life that already exists. Be grateful for what you have, and do every little thing in your life with passion. There's no need to invent goals that don't really come from the inside. Passion comes by itself, gives you energy, and fills you with motivations to achieve your goals. Passion is something that drives you, not something that you force yourself to do. Don't try so hard to find your passion. It will find you. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions or requests, just write down in the comments. If you liked the video, please press the like button and subscribe to see future videos.
All right, so I hope that as you guys were watching that video, you started to think about a couple of things about which you're passionate. And again, sometimes people can confuse hobbies with a passion. And like I talked about before, if you will use your passion as your subject for your community project, it'll go much, much smoother and you'll have more motivation in order to complete it. All right, so just like we were talking about from the video, be thinking to yourself, what are one or two things that you're about which you're passionate? Those things that when you're doing them, time seems to fly by. And I hope that you guys are thinking about these. Maybe you can talk amongst yourselves, talk with your teacher a little bit to kind of generate some ideas for your community project. You don't have to know exactly what you're going to do today. So here's another quote. Your life has purpose. Your story is important. Your dreams count. Your voice matters. You were born to make an impact. And to me, one of those ways in which you can make your impact is through the IB Community Project. And like I said, like you will have those that will help you get through it. For those of you in regular flex classes, your flex teacher is going to be your supervisor for your IB Community Project, and you'll be working on those projects during your flex time on Wednesdays and Thursdays. For those of you who are in an intervention flex, because we can't take time away from that important work, I will be overseeing you. I will be your community project supervisor, and then we'll also have some times on Saturdays that you can come in order to complete some checkpoints. All right, so the question is, how do you get started? Here's our last and final video for today.
How to start a community project in just 10 steps. Step 1. Idea. Do you have an idea for a project? Great! There are simple steps you can follow to give your project the best chance of success. Step 2. Research. What gap in the community does your idea fill? Is there a need? Is your project already offered somewhere nearby? In some cases, advocating for changes or joining within existing projects might be the best way to achieve your goals, rather than starting a new project. Nothing currently available? Time to lead your own project. Step 3. Recruit your team. Have you talked with your family, friends, neighbours, and similar groups in the area? What groups, businesses, or organisations might be able to help you? A partnership or team will give you more energy and support. If you get a team, be sure to clearly define who is responsible for each task. Having a team also helps to show that there is community support for your idea. Step 4. Now some detail. Do you need funding to support your project? Many projects can be run with surprisingly little funds. You may find that donations of goods, services, venues, and people's time are the most valuable resources for your project. If you are considering applying for grants, try linking in with other organisations or groups to help you apply and manage the money. Step 5. Location, location, location. Do you need a venue for your project? You can approach your local council, sports, or hobby club for casual room hire. Use the great outdoors or think outside the box for other options. How will people get there? Have you thought about access to public transport? How often will you need it? And what time will best suit the people that you want to come? Step 6. What if something goes wrong? All projects have risks. Identifying all the risks, you can be confident that your team is ready to handle any problems that arise. Plan ahead. Have you thought about insurance or incorporation? If you are not ready, look into partnerships to help you with these. Do you need permits or special permissions for your project? Talk to your local community development council worker. Do you need a working with children's check or food handling certificate? These can often be done online. Step 7. Get the word out. There are lots of options to tell people about your project. Consider which will work best for your audience and idea. Step 8. Growing your project. How can you improve your project and keep it going? Consider whether your team would benefit from training, such as project management, grant writing, marketing, or promotion. Or maybe something specific to your project, like art or exercise skills. How did your project go? Step 9. Measure your success. It's a good idea to ask people who took part in your project for feedback and ideas for improvements. You can use this information to improve your project and tell your story to help get more funding, support, or community members involved. Step 10. More information. Links to help you are below. Many of these resources and templates can be found free online. Don't forget, there is always someone you can talk to at your local council, neighbourhood house, or relevant club for help. Good luck! Now, it's your turn. Start at step 1. What's your idea to improve your local community?
All right. There are a lot of really, really good things that you need to pay attention to as you're going through the project. Do we expect these to be absolutely perfect? No. What IB wants for their students are to learn along the way. And to make that easier, when you decide what your passion is, what you want to do, link into another community resource if you can to do your project. That will definitely help you get it done. For example, like for our school, we're partnering with Well Aware this year, and they provide clean water to communities that don't have it. If we decided as Hernandez Middle School that we're going to go to Africa and we're going to provide clean water, obviously that's not going to be possible. But us linking into Well Aware, that's what they do. They're a local nonprofit in Austin, Texas. They're working with us in order to be able to help others in the community learn about it. And in the spring, we're going to be having some experiences to learn even more about it. And so keep that in mind when you're trying to figure out what you want to do for your project, so that you'll be able to move forward. There's a lot more available as far as resources, as far as information. Definitely getting the IB Community Project Handbook, looking it over. Obviously, your flex teachers will help you with that. In addition, I'm available as well to help you at any given step through the IB Community Project. I'll be providing videos and other things throughout your project in order to keep you motivated. So with that, Hernandez, I thank you for joining me for presentation number 1 for the IB Community Project. We'll be receiving a little bit more information. As I said, in the next week or two, you'll be viewing presentation number 2 in your social studies classes. So with that, who can do it? I know you can do it. This is just to get us started for today. So with that, Hernandez, have a great day.